Well, what a matchup that was. What a victory in sudden death style for Jordan Shepherd over Martin McIntosh. Can we top that? It's going to take some doing, but let's find out as we welcome our third set of quarter-finalists. First of all, a man enjoying a very, very impressive season and a fabulous run to this quarter-final. A warm welcome into the arena to David McNamara. And his opponent, a man with an impressive trophy cabinet who is finding his feet in this Taom Shootout event. A warm welcome, please, to the Dazzler, Darren Matthew.
I'm not sure how we top that previous match, but we're going to try. David McNamara from England, playing in his first shootout, topped his group with 3 wins from 4, takes on Darren Matthew, who came second in his group. He was in Martin McIntosh's group. 2 wins, a draw and a loss was enough to see him through to the quarter-final stage. Both players playing in their first Taom Shootout event. Both players looking to make one step further and make it into the semi-finals. Slow start yesterday from Dave McNamara. Today he's found his form. It's been excellent today. Darren Matthew made a very slow start late last night. And he's been hot and cold today. Moments of brilliance. Moments of mistakes. But he's done enough. The players are just about set. Another 30 minutes on the match clock, and we're ready to go here in quarter-final 3. Georgia's made the trek back from the arena. I imagine the crowd are, well, still buzzing from the previous match.
Yeah, disappointed, of course. Simon to lose 2 of their home favourites in the first 2 quarter-finals. And then Alan Dixon and Martin McIntosh in that sudden death black ball shootout. It was the first one to blink and miss, to lose the match. Those are the rules now in these Taom Shootout Series events, and it went all the way to black ball number 8 before Jordan Shepherd sealed the victory. Now what have these two got in store? Last chance for Scottish interest in the semis lies with the Dazzler.
Yeah, not a great start for Darren either. Something that plagued him through the group stages, just missing pots you didn't expect. It's definitely a quarter-final that's very hard to call. Dave McNamara's yellows at the top of the table are wide open, but the yellow at the bottom is almost unsolvable. Has to be cannoned out. no yellows to do so with. So reds, although there's still a problem red at the bottom, red's definitely a better option because it's a lot easier to get this red out. Unlucky to make the second ball. That stays over the pocket. It's simple. And now he's forced into a very difficult cut into the right centre, or a double.
It's in. It's a fluke. Acknowledged.
Maybe a fluke, but it may not help him. This red's gone really safe.
Too much to ask for two flukes in two shots.
One of those, hit it firm, try and get it going towards the pocket. You never know, but not this time. Well, that's opened everything up for David McNamara. Yellow at the bottom of the table, now not a problem.
So Callum Singleton, Jordan Shepherd, semi-final number 1. It's McNamara against Matthew for a place in semi-final 2 against either Melling or Fitzsimmons.
It's landed nicely for David. Just drop this in, leaves plenty of angle. The yellow along the bottom cushion. Needs to be mindful of this yellow though. Can't take this pot for granted. The cue ball was natural. With the black so close to the left centre pocket, huge margin of error for him to land on the black. He may go in and out of the top end of the table. He may just drop this in. But acres of room.
McNamara strikes first. He leads Darren Matthew by a frame to nil.
You get the sense that David's trying his best to look calm and collected out in the arena. He may not be underneath, but he held himself together nicely enough to get that opening frame on the board. Really nice break, deserves to make a ball with that quality of contact. Doesn't get one though. David's going to go for yellows. Yellow at the top of the table. That's a problem. In fact, a couple of yellows at the top of the table are a problem. Would have had a similar number of issues with the reds. So we could be in for a bit of tactical play. David trying to get the snooker behind the yellow at the bottom, overhits the shot. Excellent opening plant. 3 reds on the right-hand side are tricky. He may be eyeing up a 3-ball plant, which would open everything up.
Gets it.
That wasn't as easy as he made it look, that's for sure. Thought there was enough room for that red, it was tight. It stays on the table. McNamara would have loved just a fraction more movement on that red that he's played the yellow off, just to open up that pocket. There's a yellow in the top part of the table that's still a problem. That's why he's played another safety shot, attempted snooker. It's pretty tight, but I don't think it is a snooker. The problem with McNamara's shot choice was it was very unlikely to ever force a mistake from Darren Matthew, forcing David into a big shot like that. The black looks a little bit tied up at the bottom of the table for Darren, but I think there's middle pockets available for that black. Don't think he's going to need a nudge on it. If he does, it's a big problem. You can see he's just pointing his cue, just having a look.
Oh, wow. What a time to miscue.
That's incredible. I think we've seen it all now. All sorts of things happening out in the arena through these matches. Just overstretching, causing himself to miscue.
And that's his reward.
Yeah, this time David McNamara may get some rewards of his own from this snooker. It's not the hardest to hit. He has missed it. Just nudge the red safe with a free shot. Doesn't need to do anything to develop the yellows. Not the best from McNamara this time. Short on his position. So it's another snooker.
Again, he's saying, how have I flown off the cushion like that?
He's missed it by a considerable distance. I can understand why he's looking a bit confused.
And it looks like that miscue is going to cost Darren Matthew the frame. And he's going to be 2-0 down rather than 1-1. In it goes, 2-0 it is. Not happening for Darren Matthew.
Did all the hard work in that frame. And that miscue was poor. Just stretching too much. Mistimes his shot, and that's going to cost him a 2-0 deficit. Big difference in these short matches, 2-0, 1-1. Really is a big difference. Those two frames have used up a fair chunk of the allotted time for this match. We may not get to 5 frames. The match clock may come into play. 17 minutes left in the match.
Yeah, unfortunate. Good spread. One yellow came close. Nothing down. Opportunity.
Got plenty of movement on the black as well. That gets the players and the crowd excited. Chance for the golden break.
Needs this. Can't afford to go 3-0 down.
Well, the good news is he's landed on the next red. The bad news, he's knocked the black into a really awkward position. I think he would have hoped it went further down the table towards the middle pocket. It's going to be a tricky one to solve. Hard to play a cannon into that area. And if he leaves it to the last ball before he plays the cannon, needs a little bit of luck to land on it. He could leave it and play a back double to the middle pocket. But it's not in a great position for the double.
Oh, he needs this so bad. This is a huge shot in this match.
He thinks there's a gap for the black into the centre pocket. He looks like he's found it. Brilliant shot.
What a positional shot that is. Is he okay? This has been the problem pocket. Oh, and again. And again.
Those middle pockets have been so severe all day. I thought that one was going to drop. It stays on the table. It's another frame where Darren Matthew gets himself through to his last ball or the black. He doesn't complete the job.
Well, he should be 2-1 up. He's going to be 3-0 down.
Yeah, he really should be 2-1 up. He had chances in the opening frame actually as well. He had the first opportunity. They were difficult. He could be forgiven for missing those. But he will feel that he should have won the last frame and this one. Just a delicate one. Would have loved another 2 or 3 inches on that black into the middle of the table. Is one you didn't want to risk hitting too hard and going too close to the corner pocket. Making both. Stranger things have happened.
Well, I hope you're enjoying our coverage on Freesports TV of this Taom Shootout Grand Final. We've had 2 terrific quarterfinals. This the third. It's been England 0, England 2, Scotland 0 in the first 2. And this is going the same way. 3-0 to David McNamara. He has the firmest of grips on this quarter-final.
Really starting to enjoy the interaction with the crowd now. First frame or so, there's a bit more focus on his face. And now he's 3-0 up, he's relaxed. Darren Matthew under all sorts of pressure. Brought it on himself a little bit these last 2 frames. He's had the first opportunity and got himself into great positions.
Now or never for Darren Matthew.
Once again, Darren gets the first opportunity. Good break and a really nice split. These reds are all there for him. He'll have a pocket. No cannons needed. Just got to work his way around the table nicely. The only one that's going to prove any problem at all should be the one that he was just bridging over next to the yellow in the middle of the table. There is enough room to land on it to the top left corner. In fact, it may even go into the left centre, so it might be easier than I'm suggesting.
Queuing really nicely all of a sudden. Maybe he needed that miscue to get it out of his system. This looks like one being back very, very swiftly. Oh, judged that cannon so well. 3-1 in no time at all. Game back on.
When you're 3-0 behind in a timed match and only about 12 minutes on the clock, it's not just about winning the frame, it's about winning the frame quickly, and Darren has done that. That clearance was only about a minute and a half long. First time he's made a ball off the break, and an excellent clearance keeps himself in this match. So David McNamara breaks off for the first time, having lost a frame. 10 minutes left in this match. There is still time for Darren Matthew. It is a race to 5, of course, but if we don't make it after 30 minutes, then the match will stop regardless of the score.
And then we have our final quarter-final. Looking forward to Chris Melling against Simon Fitzsimmons. Chris preparing for that by just wandering into the commentary box. Won't ask him to come and have a word on this. He needs to be in the zone, as I'm sure he is. He has been a great addition to this Taom Shootout event. Oh, and that stayed out. So another chance for the Dazzler.
Yeah, just ignore the graphics at the bottom. Darren is actually reds, and these reds could not be placed nicer. The only question mark is over the black. Does it go to the top left corner? If it does, it's half a pocket at most. I don't think it does.
Oh dear.
Almost didn't give the care and attention that pot needed. Was already thinking about the difficult black to the centre pocket. Forgot about the one to the corner.
And that's going to cost him a few minutes, that.
Yeah, even if he still wins the frame, it's the time he's going to lose. It's going to hurt.
Oh, he's made contact. Where's that red going? No. Well, he's going to be kicking himself. He had an opportunity of a fight back. Looks to me like he's tossed it away.
Big visit to the table for David McNamara. You feel if he can hold himself together here, make the clearance. He's got one foot in the semi-finals. Clever shot. He knew he was knocking the red down towards the pocket that's blocked over by those yellows. So even if the yellow had stayed on the table, he'd have had some control. But when it goes in, it makes life easier for him as well.
That writing on the wall is now looking like it's in permanent marker for Darren Matthew. This black for 4-1 and no time for Darren Matthew to come back. Yes, there's 7 minutes. But if David McNamara keeps his head on, then he's through to the semis.
Story of the match continues. Darren Matthew with the first really good opportunity in that frame. Missed his last ball once again. Clever play from David McNamara to get over the line. Darren Matthews going to come to the table, breaking off. 6.5 minutes on the clock. You feel if he's going to have any chance, he's going to require a golden break or a couple of very, very quick finishes. Well, it's a good start. It's a brilliant break. Red and yellow have come together on the right-hand side. It's only ball he needs to work out. I think the plan was to try and take the one to the bottom left and develop it straight away. He's overrun that positional shot. And he's missed another pot. So David McNamara comes to the table for his first chance to win this match. He has the same problem. It's the same red and yellow that he has to work out. It's a little bit easier for yellows to work out than it was for reds. The yellow just below it gives him a really good opportunity for a controlled cannon. See him come round and have a look where he wants to land to play the cannon. And he's not going to be far away. Just got enough angle to do that. Would have loved another inch or so down the table, but good angle. Yeah, it was just an inch short. Had to try and force the angle. I think it's fair to say that Dave McNamara has potted himself into a lot of trouble in this frame.
Oh, fouled twice. Will he get another one back here then, Dazzler? Should do. Well, that's what you call carefree potting when the match is already done. Left himself a long black for 4-2. In it goes. Well, who knows?
I think
quick re-rack.
Without the golden break, 2 frames, he's going to be breaking off. Well, it's going to be David McNamara breaking off with about 2.5 minutes left on the clock. 2 frames required to take this to a shootout. Very, very unlikely. But David looking a little bit irritated in his chair because he knows that was a decent chance to get over the line.
Oh, Black almost dropped. So 2.5 minutes on the match.
Well, the chance is there for him to take these out and give himself at least a break. At least a chance of a golden break.
That was a good shot. Crowd saying, Daz, still time. There is, not a great deal of it. 1:56 and counting. He's going to have about a minute if the ref can get these set up quickly. Great clearance. From 4-1 to 4-3. What do you think, Chris? Has he got time? Chris Melling nods his head. He's on next. It's all about the break.
He's got a very powerful break. If he gets one of his big splits and it really comes out wide open, even without the golden break, he's going to have probably just about enough time.
Pressure on the referee in these situations. Cannot make a mistake. Cost the player a few extra seconds. There we go. 1 minute 9 seconds. Hold on to your hats. Black doesn't move. Is anything down? No. That'll be it.
One of his worst breaks of the match. Didn't quite get the full power going as he has previously. David McNamara will take his full 15 seconds. I'm not sure that David really cared where he landed. Just wanted to pot a ball and give himself another 15 seconds to waste. Good pot. Gives him the opportunity to waste another 15 seconds, and this match is done. 20 seconds on the clock. No chance for Darren Matthew now.
Yeah, final throws. Well, the final throw is a handshake and a hug. He's been a good competitor as Darren Matthew, but David McNamara has been just a little bit better. On his Taom Shootout debut, he's into the semi-finals, and he's guaranteed a big draw against either Chris Melling or Simon Fitzsimmons, and they play after this break.